All right, welcome. Today, we're going to look at something you probably see every single day, but in a totally new way. We're going to break down a plant and really see it for what it is, which is, honestly, this incredibly sophisticated living machine.
So, let's kick things off with a little riddle. What's green? And you can find it pretty much everywhere you look, all over the world.
And nope, it's not money. I wish. We're talking about plants. I mean, think about it. They're in forests, they're in your backyard, you see them growing out of cracks in the sidewalk. They are just everywhere.
So you might be thinking, why are we doing a whole explainer on plants? Well, here's the thing. Without them, we literally wouldn't be here. It's that simple. Every single breath you take, the food on your plate, that apple, your toast, pasta, even the shirt on your back, it all traces back to a plant. They're like this quiet, unsung hero, the absolute foundation for pretty much all life on this planet.
Okay, so to really get how this living machine works, we got to look at its basic blueprint, right? Every plant is basically split into two main parts. You've got the shoot system, that's everything you see above ground, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, and then there's the hidden part, the root system down below. It's such a simple but brilliant design. And we're going to explore it piece by piece, starting from the ground up.
So, let's dive in with the part you almost never see, the hidden half, the roots. Think of them as the machine's anchor, its power cord, and its water pump, all rolled into one amazing system.
So what do roots actually do? Well, they've got three huge jobs. First, they anchor the whole plant, holding it tight so it doesn't just fall over. Second, they're constantly sucking up water and minerals from the soil. And third, they're like the plant's pantry, storing up energy, like starches for when it needs it later. They really are the foundation in every sense of the word.
In this storage job, the sweet potato is the perfect example. That thing you eat is actually a specialized root, just jam-packed with starches and nutrients. It's basically the plant's emergency battery pack, this huge underground tank of energy. But here's the cool part. Roots are not one size fits all. No way. They adapt in these incredible ways. On one side, you've got these massive buttress roots that are all about stability, especially in shallow soil. And on the other, those are basically snorkels. They're specialized roots that poke up out of the water in swamps so the plant can actually breathe. How cool is that?
Okay, get this. Most plants have a secret weapon. The roots aren't working alone. They team up with fungi in the soil in this amazing partnership called mycorrhizae. The fungus basically becomes an extension of the root system, making it way better at absorbing water and minerals. And what does the fungus get in return? The plant pays it in sugar, the food it makes up in its leaves. It's the perfect win-win.
And you want to know something wild? Those super expensive truffles that chefs are obsessed with, that's actually the mushroom part, the fruiting body of one of these mycorrhizal fungi. It's the only visible piece of that incredible underground partnership happening on the roots of trees like oaks. Mind-blowing, right?
All right, let's travel up from the roots to the next part of our machine, the stem. This is the plant's main support structure, and it's also its internal superhighway.
And that quote is the perfect way to think about it. The stem's #1 job is to be a ladder. It's all about lifting those leaves up, getting them as close to the sun as possible. It's a constant competition for sunlight, and the stem is how the plant gets an edge.
Now, just like with roots, stems can get modified to do all sorts of different jobs, and this is where a lot of people get mixed up. You have stolons, which are stems that grow horizontally above the ground. And then you have tubers, which are these swollen underground stems that are all about storage.
So check this out. A strawberry plant sends out those runners you see, those are stolons, to make new plants. But the potato, that thing we all love, it is not a root. It's a tuber, which is a modified underground stem. And get this, every one of those little eyes on a potato is actually a bud that can sprout a whole new potato plant. Pretty wild.
Okay, so inside that stem is the plant's plumbing. It's called the vascular system. It's basically two sets of pipes, xylem and phloem. And there's a super easy way to remember what they do. Just think xylem brings water high to the sky, it pulls water up from the roots, and phloem lets the food flow down from the leaves to the rest of the plant.
And here's a dramatic example of just how crucial that plumbing is. This is a process called girdling. Someone has removed a ring of bark all the way around the tree. And since the phloem, the food highway, is in the bark, you've just cut the supply line. The leaves up top can still make sugar, but there's no way to get it down to the roots. So, without that food, the roots literally starve, and the whole tree eventually dies.
Okay, now we're moving up to the real powerhouse of this machine, the leaves. These things are basically nature's solar panels. They are high-tech, solar-powered food factories.
This is where the real magic happens. It's a process called photosynthesis, and it is incredible. The leaves take three simple things: sunlight for energy, water that came up from the roots, and carbon dioxide from the air, and they combine them to make sugar. And that sugar is the fuel that powers the entire plant, every single part, from the tiniest root tip all the way up to a brand new flower.
But again, leaves aren't always what you think they are. Take a look at the cactus. Every single one of those sharp spines is actually a modified leaf. It's been totally redesigned for defense and to stop water loss. And what about the poinsettia? Those big, beautiful red parts? They look like petals, but they're not. They are special leaves called bracts, and their only job is to be flashy and attract pollinators to the tiny little flowers in the very center.
So let's recap. We've got roots for sucking things up, a stem for transport, and leaves making all the energy. But what's the point of it all? What is the ultimate purpose of this entire complex machine? Well, it's all about one thing: making more plants, reproduction.
And this is where the reproductive team comes in. Flowers, they're basically the seed-making factories. They use bright colors and sweet smells as giant advertisements to say, hey, bees, come over here, to help them with pollination. And once a seed is made, the plant wraps it up in a fruit. The fruit's job is, 1, protect the seed, and 2, often, to trick some animal into eating it. That animal then wanders off and, well, deposits the seed somewhere new.
There's a saying that I think just perfectly sums all of this up. A plant's life is one with its growth. Think about it. Animals, like us, we grow to a certain size and then we're done. But a plant, it's in this constant state of becoming. It's always growing, always adapting, always building. Its life is its growth.
So, my challenge to you is this. The next time you walk past a tree, or even just see a little houseplant on a windowsill, don't just see a plant. See the machine. See the hidden anchor system working underground, the superhighway inside the stem, the little solar factories in the leaves, and the whole reproductive mission to create the next generation. Take a closer look. What new details will you notice now?